Hi, everyone. I'm Ruth Lee, the chair of the Georgia Council on Aging. For over 30 years, GCOA has advocated to increase the quality of life statewide for older Georgians. For the past two legislative sessions, the COVID-19 pandemic has constrained our ability to engage in person with our community. However, that has not stopped us from embracing new methods of communication and outreach to ensure that we reached our goals. We had a very successful virtual senior week with over 700 viewers and counting, where seniors from across Georgia were able to hear from legislators and share their thoughts on our 2021 co-age issues.
Hey, thank you so much for allowing me to appear virtually before you. We look forward to a day when we're not meeting virtually and we're able to visit face-to-face once again. But until that time, I guess this will have to do. I'm Blake Tillery. I'm the chairman of the Senate Appropriations Committee.
I'm Katie Dempsey. I represent in the State House of Representatives, Georgia House District 13, which involves Rome and portions of Floyd County.
Hello, my name is Senator Gloria Butler. I am the minority leader of the Senate Democratic Caucus.
Hello, everyone. This is State Representative Sharon Cooper. I chair the Health and Human Services Committee in the Georgia House.
Hi, everyone. I'm Senator Kay Kirkpatrick. I represent Senate District 32, which is East Cobb and Sandy Springs.
Hi, my name is State Representative David Wilkerson.
Everybody is State Senator Brian Strickland from District 17, which is in Henry County and portions of Rockdale County and Newton County as well. I actually live in McDonough.
Thank you so much for having me. My name is Chuck Evstration, and it's an honor to be with you here today.
The most important job that I feel that I have is that of being the chairman of the subcommittee on human relations for our state budget. The portion that matters the most to me, no doubt, is that about dealing with children and senior issues, those particular disabilities and the challenges that we face today.
Georgia House Democrats are determined to provide relief for our seniors who rely on accessible and affordable health care every day.
And I want to tell you that you have a great advocacy network down here at the Capitol. We appreciate when you reach out to us on issues from provider issues to constituent concerns.
Wanted to let you know how important your feedback is for us down at the Capitol as we delve into a lot of issues regarding the state budget and things that are going on back in our community.
It's important more than ever that we hear from you guys, that you reach out to your senators and to your representatives.
When you see things that are going on here in the legislature, please do reach out personally. It's great to hear from others, great to hear from providers, but when you, the folks that we represent back home, reach out to us personally with area codes that we recognize, it really does mean so much more.
As I look back at what we've done with elder abuse, where we overhauled the policies we have with elder abuse in our long-term care facilities and personal care homes, bills like that don't happen without the work that you guys do. And so it's important that you reach out to your senators, to your representatives, and make sure you get in our ears. And remember, we're up here still fighting for Georgians every day at the state capitol and need to hear from you.
I want to tell you how important it is that we continue to support measures which are important to senior citizens in the state, which will fight elder abuse.
I'm a senior myself, and I have worked together with many other legislators to advance legislation that protects our seniors.
For those unable to age in place, we will continue to monitor and make improvements to Georgia's nursing homes, personal care homes, and long-term facilities.
Thank you to your organization.
Look forward to seeing you soon.
Today, we are delighted to share with you the results from the 2021 legislative session by bringing the General Assembly to you in our virtual Engage with Co-Age presentation. In past years, GCOA has held over 30 events around the state to share our work with longstanding co-age members as well as potential members. In an effort to keep seniors safe, we are holding this virtual event to educate you about GCOA and co-age, to review the 2021 General Assembly's effect on Georgia seniors, and to learn how to propose your own co-age issue. Let's start by introducing the council and co-age.
In 1977, the council was created by the Georgia General Assembly to advise the governor, legislature, and state agencies on aging issues. It is made up of 20 members appointed by the governor, lieutenant governor, speaker of the House, and commissioner of human services. In the 1980s, the council created COAGE to get input from Georgia's seniors and service providers on the issues affecting them. COAGE is a large, diverse coalition representing the concerns of older Georgians. This coalition is one of the largest broad-based grassroots efforts in Georgia to bring policy issues to the legislature. Each spring, COAGE members vote on 5 policy priorities that benefit the senior population. COAGE will then work over the next year to advocate for the 5 priorities. In the past 3 years, COAGE has successfully advocated for over $5 million in new funding for aging programs and the passage of numerous laws ranging from increased elder abuse protections to better regulation of assisted living communities. So, what happened this year? Work began last fall with 5 COAGE priorities: HCBS funding, behavioral health and housing funding, coroner notification, disaster planning equity, and telehealth for dentistry. These priorities were developed further in monthly workgroup meetings. The council and COAGE members met via Zoom with legislators to discuss the priorities and senior issues. The council recruited sponsors for bills and testified in committee meetings. Floor votes were taken, and the process repeated in the other chamber. After this, the bill goes to the governor for signing or vetoing. COAGE members email, call, and visit throughout this entire process.
The 5 COAGE issues are chosen every July by the COAGE members. Once they're picked, work groups are formed, and the work groups meet to decide the strategy and ask for the upcoming legislative session. The council arranges meetings with key legislative leaders to build our relationships and to brief them on the issues that we'll be bringing to the legislative session. Our budget issues this year were funding for home and community-based services, those things that help keep seniors independent as long as possible, and funding for behavioral health and housing. The budget that passed, that starts this July 1st, it's the fiscal year 2022 budget, did not include new funding for home and community-based services. We think this is because the federal American Rescue Plan Act included over $37 million for Georgia for aging programs. But the budget did include a 10% rate increase for the providers of home and community-based services, which is a good thing because it's been many years since they've gotten a rate increase. The legislature also agreed with the governor's proposal to add funding for the staff that investigate abuse and monitor services for the most vulnerable. Keep in mind, these figures include salary, benefits, travel, and technology. The budget includes almost $1 million for 13 new adult protective service workers who investigate reports of abuse, neglect, and exploitation of seniors and adults with disabilities. The budget also included over $230,000 for 3 new public guardianship caseworkers to coordinate and monitor all the services needed for the health and welfare of guardianship clients, and the state has almost 1,000 people under guardianship. The funding also included funding for a new central intake specialist to support these additional caseworkers. We're also thrilled to announce that over $168,000 was included in the FY 2022 budget for a behavioral health and housing coach to be provided in the Albany and Tifton area. These funds will go to the Southern Georgia Area Agency on Aging to expand the coaching service to at-risk clients in affordable housing. Safe and affordable housing is an essential need for seniors, especially seniors that suffer from mental health issues. As for the legislative side of things, our co-age priorities were disaster planning equity, coroner notification, and telehealth for dentistry. After remarkable work from the council and stakeholders in our work groups, we're happy to announce that House Resolution 406 passed the House 167-0. This was a disaster planning equity resolution sponsored by Representative John LaHood from Valdosta. He said, long-term care providers need to be able to directly and safely serve older adults and people with disabilities, even in times of disaster and emergency. This resolution urges the Georgia Emergency Operations Plan to recognize the importance of long-term services and support system providers and their direct care workers, and assign them equitable priority to that of other essential health care and public health workers. So important. As for our other two legislative issues, due to opposition from House leadership, action on the coroner notification issue was delayed. Likewise, telehealth for dentistry was delayed until 2022 to get the dentist and the hygienist on the same page with language. We look forward to getting submissions for next year's 2022 legislative session. We'll now learn more about how you can propose an issue for a co-age priority.
This was a successful year for priorities. But how does an issue become a priority? Starting the day after the session, GCOA sends out a call for issues. Anyone can submit an issue by the May 1st deadline. GCOA will work with anyone to help prepare an issue that is statewide, affects seniors, and can be changed by budget or law. These issues are then presented to co-age members at the July meeting. Co-age members vote on the priority issues, and on August 1st, GCOA announces the 5 issues that have gotten the most votes. During the fall, GCOA and co-age will meet in work groups to develop a plan for the priority issue, and the council will meet with legislators and the governor's staff to discuss priorities. Finally, in January, GCOA will be at the Capitol every day to advocate for aging issues and the co-age priorities. Do you have a concern that either affects older adults throughout the state or requires state legislative action? If you answered yes to either question, you could propose your idea as a co-age issue.
Now that we have heard about the status of the 2021 co-age issues and how to propose an issue, I will take a moment to update you on other bills that affected seniors this legislative session. But before I do, I have one quick note about the budget items that Kathy mentioned earlier. We assume the governor will approve all our budget items. He has until May 10th to sign the budget, and he can line item veto any part. GCOA is hopeful that our line items will remain in the budget, being that nothing is controversial, but you never know. There were some additional bills introduced this legislative session that affected seniors, starting with House Bill 605. In December of 2020, the Georgia Supreme Court affirmed the right of nursing home residents to use a hidden camera if there is a security risk. HB 605 attempted to limit the use of cameras by residents, setting up a cumbersome process for an approved visible camera that staff could turn off for a host of reasons with no consequences. The bill was opposed by GCOA, AARP Georgia, and the Georgia chapter of the Alzheimer's Association because residents and their families would no longer have the right to use footage from a hidden camera in a lawsuit over abuse. After many co-age members emailed and called their senators, and with the support of other aging advocates, HB 605 failed to pass. This was a big win for advocates. House Bill 363 was an elder abuse cleanup bill sponsored by Representative John LaHood, clarifying the language of abusive access to an incapacitated person. It further removes conflicting enhancements in other code sections that would cause a lesser sentence than the elder exploitation statute. This bill was passed by the House and Senate and sent to the governor for his signature. House Bill 163 also passed this session, allowing Georgia's Medicaid enrollment system to utilize express lane eligibility for children who qualify for Medicaid. Express lane eligibility makes it easier for uninsured children to get enrolled and stay covered under Medicaid. With the passage of House Bill 163, up to 70,000 uninsured children in Georgia could gain access to health coverage, which helps grandparents raising grandchildren. House Bill 290, introduced by Representative Ed Setzler, would allow a patient's legal representative to visit for a minimum of 1 hour a day in a hospital or nursing home. There was a lot of debate over the House and Senate versions of the bill, and they ultimately could not agree. After hours of testimony and many heartbreaking stories, House Bill 290 failed to pass. This was definitely a busy session for aging advocates. As you heard earlier, it is so important for legislators to hear from co-age members about issues that affect seniors across the state. Every session, GCOA calls on co-age members to reach out to their legislators on important issues. Let's learn more about how you can join with co-age to become more effective advocates for Georgia's seniors.
So, you have a passion for helping older adults, and you hate to see them being mistreated or neglected. You may have family members who are aging and have trouble getting the services they need. Or maybe you're part of an organization that works to help older adults in certain regions, but you want to see changes happen across the state. You want to make a difference, but don't know exactly where to start. Well, here is your answer. Join the Coalition of Advocates for Georgia's Elderly, better known as COAGE. What is COAGE, you ask? COAGE is a grassroots organization made up of a diverse group of individuals, organizations, consumers, and providers whose common goal is to advocate on behalf of and with older adults. COAGE is led by the Georgia Council on Aging, GCOA, which is made up of 20 members, 10 consumers, and 10 service providers, who are appointed by the governor, lieutenant governor, speaker of the House, and the commissioner of the Department of Human Services. Together, COAGE members and GCOA have successfully advocated for many issues affecting older adults. Currently, COAGE has over 1,100 members of both individuals and organizations, and that number continues to grow. As a COAGE member, you can be involved in advocating for older Georgians by staying updated on events involving senior issues, proposing legislative and budget priority issues, voting for which issues are taken to the legislature, receiving our Senior Issues newsletter, attending COAGE events and meetings, and having access to customized advocacy alerts to your legislators. Our organizational members can have up to 5 voting members and a web link posted on our website to your business or organization. COAGE members are dedicated advocates and take pride in the changes that they help to make. Let's hear what some of them have to say.
Hi, this is Melanie McNeil, the State Long-Term Care Ombudsman. COAGE is a well-recognized name at the Georgia Capitol. COAGE has been instrumental in changing laws and regulations to benefit older Georgians for years. You can be a part of this influential coalition by joining COAGE today.
Hi, I'm Mary Lee Boatwright Quinn from the Alzheimer's Association Georgia Chapter, and I think that joining COAGE is one of the most important things that you can do for the seniors of Georgia. They are the leading organization on impacting legislation and regulation for all seniors in Georgia. I would encourage you to join COAGE today.
So what are you waiting for? If you want to take action now and start making a difference in the lives of older Georgians, join COAGE today.
Increase the voice for seniors by joining COAGE. COAGE is open to any individual, business, or organization. Joining COAGE means that Georgia's seniors have a stronger and louder voice at the Capitol each year. When we organize, we can make our voices louder and take on bigger challenges together. Visit www.gcoa.org to learn more. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter to get important updates that we do weekly during the session and then monthly throughout the rest of the year. And most importantly, join COAGE. Thank you all for joining us today.